do our red light, the face yellow, their faces now.
Is that going to play as well with the camera watching us just like...
Do what?
Yeah, we're like...
Oh,
I've seen us both do it.
I was looking down, so out of the corner of my eye, I just saw this. I was like, what are we doing exactly?
Oh, you know.
Welcome to Season 3 of Matt Makes Zach Watch Horror Movies. Return to Haddonfield with the Horror Bros on their quest to watch the entire saga of Mikey Myers from the brand new horror lair. So you, dear listener, can witness the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Are you too high for this?
Hello and welcome to Matt Makes Zach Watch Horror Movies. I'm Matt.
And I'm Zach.
I made him watch a horror movie.
Yeah, you did.
What did we watch this week, Zach?
Halloween 3. Season of the Witch.
Yeah, like the song.
That's a song?
There's a song called Season of the Witch. We played it in your car. It's in Paranorman.
How does it go?
I don't want to sing.
Just how do the lyrics go? What?
Must be the season of the witch.
I'm drawing a blank on this one.
It's a good song.
I'm sure like the second I hear it for 2 seconds,
it's like a classic rock song. I don't
Yeah.
think that's really your scene.
Yeah. If it's in Paranorman though,
You'll
like,
know when you hear it.
Yeah. But we watched
It's the one they sing at the assembly. But when they do their play about witches.
Oh.
So Paranorman is like one of my top 5 movies of all time. So I'm like, you don't have Paranorman memorized?
I should. Well, I have Coraline memorized.
Yeah.
But Paranorman's coming back in theaters for a little bit.
Special episode.
But we watched Halloween 3.
Yes. We watched a different season of The Witch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this time, Zach, I'm not going to forget. Before we get into the spoilers, what'd you think of this movie? Don't disappoint me.
Fuck this movie.
I didn't expect it to be that bad.
It'll probably mostly be in my summary of my issues with this movie.
Oh, there are many to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I still love it.
It's okay for you to love it.
Yeah.
I can see the appeal, but I got some thoughts and feelings on this movie.
Oh, I'm probably gonna have way like more criticisms than you.
One of them similar to why I'm not a Bill Murray fan that we discussed.
Oh yeah, no, I mean Tom Atkins is a monster in this movie. To be clear.
Mm-hmm. But I'll in my summary, because last week on Dragon Ball Z we summarized Halloween 2. And I did my normal thing of typing out notes. It didn't work out that well on video, I don't think. Like, it didn't land as well for my jokes. So I'm gonna wing it. I didn't write any notes.
All right.
Let's see how much of this movie I actually remember, because it all sticks out in my brain now.
Oh, say what you will about this movie. You're not going to forget it.
8 days till Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween.
All right. And this time I charged my phone. So
Good
I will
job.
be timing you.
All right.
So now it's time for spoilers ahead on the Cape
Fear.
Fear. Zach, if you would, please spoil and summarize this movie. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, we start off very confusing. There's lasers and stuff. Not what I was expecting. Northern California. Ugh. Just kidding. We're SoCal.
No, that's fair.
We don't even think about Northern California. Anyways, there's this dude being chased by like Terminators or something, which I was right about that. And then he finds not Sammy Davis Jr., but I thought it was at first, because I was like, wait, what year did this movie come out? Even though I know it's in the 80s. But he's like, they're gonna kill me. So that guy takes him to the hospital. And then we cut to a different dude getting a mask for his kids. He's a drunk doctor, just like the last movie. Callback. But they already got cool masks from his mom, or their mom, not his mom. Which turns out to be his ex-wife, which I was very confused about and did not know until like the very end when he actually said it was his ex-wife, because they did not make that clear. Anyways, they're at the hospital. This guy's creepy. He's grabbing butts and stuff, unsolicited. And the guy comes in. He's all messed up. Terminator comes in. He plays Got Your Nose and just yoinks it right off, and the guy from the beginning is
and
dead.
Everything else.
At least I nose. Yeah. Anyways, so he goes, and then another Winona Ryder looking lady comes up. It's the daughter, and guess what? The thing that I hate from the 80s where a dude's like twice someone's age ends up with them for no reason, just because he's got a mustache. That happens for no reason and out of nowhere.
I mean, I would argue he's Tom Atkins, so it's fine, but go on.
He was alive before World War II, and she was not. That's a problem.
I don't disagree.
Also, they're like, yeah, my dad's death, really sus. Let's go check it out at the Halloween Silver Shamrocks. They make Halloween masks, and for whatever reason they're really popular all over the place. Everybody's obsessed with these 3 masks. I don't understand why, but hey. So they go to the town where it is, and it's a company town where only people that work there live there, and it's super creepy and everyone's looking at them. And they get a hotel room, pretend to be like wife and husband, and then that's when like she's like, oh, you're a male, of course I love you. You have a mustache. Even though you're twice my age. I hate that. I hate it. Anyways, then they start investigating. And then there's an evil, apparently he's supposed to be Irish, but I thought he was an Englishman. Fancy evil man. Totally evil. They keep investigating, find out some sus things. Very unclear what this evil dude is trying to do. Something with the mask. There's some technology involved. Anyways, they see some shit. The girl gets abducted. Not Tom Selleck starts acting like he's from Die Hard, even though he's a doctor, so that's kind of weird. And then he breaks in, sees some shit that he shouldn't see, finds a weird old lady just knitting and goes, where is she? Instead of, that's weird, it's an old lady. Hello, ma'am. He's just interrogating this old woman who probably, if she was an old woman, have no idea what's going on. But he interrogates her and just pops her head right off. She's a robot. Surprise, they're all robots. And then the evil man gets him. Surprise, there's magic now. Don't know the correlation between magic and like robots, but this movie does not explain anything. There's a rock that gives magical powers of technology.
It's a piece of Stonehenge. Thank you. That's why it's magic.
Is it Stonehenge?
Yes.
He just said sacrifice.
You wouldn't believe how they got it there.
Anyway.
It's his only line explaining it.
Yeah. So technology, magic, somehow the masks are evolved. Then they show that you put on the mask to play the commercial. It kills them somehow, and bugs and snakes come out of them somehow, just because it looks creepy. That's the only reason. But then not Tom Selleck breaks out and like knocks them all out and saves the girl, and the evil guy just gets killed by magic and then out of nowhere, and then they're free. Not Winona Ryder. She was a robot too. I don't know how that works either. Did they just replace her? Did they make a replica?
I don't like that.
Confusing. So she tries to kill him, but he says, nope, I'm not Tom Selleck, and then gets out and then tries to get commercial stops. He gets one commercial stop, but surprise, this is on every channel, and every single person in the entire world is wearing, or at least the United States is wearing one of these masks, which is very unlikely. One kid was probably like, Johnny has one of those masks. I want to be a pirate. I don't give a shit about pumpkins, but everybody likes pumpkins, skeletons, and witches apparently. Anyways, he gets him off one air, And then it's on every single channel. The next one gets it off. The next one, oh, that one's not turning off.
I mean, in his defense, it's the early 80s. There are literally only 3 channels.
I guess so. But and then it just ends ambiguously, and the end.
5 minutes, 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the movie. Bye. No.
See ya. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's jump in here.
I feel so debated because on like the cover art, everything I've seen for this movie, I was like, oh shit, cool, creepy little Halloween masks. Is this gonna be like Trick or Treat, like where the kids are creepy and there's magic stuff and like.
Yeah, the poster sucks.
I was so debated. I
mean, it's a good poster, but it's like none of this is in this movie. No evil cloud witches, no little children.
Because I was feeling like Sam, like the episode where like it's all the kids that like go down into the in Trick or Treat when it's like the kids. I was expecting something like
from that poster, 100%.
So I feel so gypped.
The better version of this poster, to keep with the theme of like, oh, it's just a pumpkin and the words Halloween, just put the pumpkin mask on a poster. And I'd be like, oh, that's weird. It's a mask now, you know, like. Yeah.
Also, did John Carpenter have anything to do with this or not?
Yes.
He did?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He is uncredited as a co-writer, and he produced it and did the music, which is why the music still fucking rips in this movie.
I was gonna say that it's like this movie felt very almost John Carpenter, but not quite, because I was like, this movie wants to be They Live. This movie wants to be like Halloween.
I mean, yeah, it's obsessed with all the things he's obsessed with, like anti-capitalism.
Yeah, that's why I was like, They Live, like all the robots and technology, because this came out before They Live, right?
Oh yeah, couple years,
so this, I was like, They Live, but like if John Carpenter directed it, and like it would have felt more like it was like just not there.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's for a couple reasons we'll talk about, like in like the making of. But yeah, I really like this movie. It's really grown on me. I think that a lot of the stuff that's like wrong or corny in it is pretty intentional. Like it reminds me of something like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, or a more recent movie, Malignant, where like people are like, those are bad. And I'm like, well, but like that's on purpose. Or like Mars Attacks, where I'm like, they know what they're doing. They're making a bad B movie on purpose.
My beef with this movie is 100% personal.
Yeah.
It's not valid or like actual criticism. I just feel so gypped. I hate more than anything.
So if this movie was just called Season of the Witch, would you like it more?
No.
Okay.
Because I would have expected some witches and like, again, the poster of like.
Well, I mean, he's a witch. He's a warlock or whatever, but.
Again, the robots. How technology.
That was a Carpenter idea.
And magic. John Carpenter, I love you, but.
It was Carpenter. So Carpenter and Deborah Hill come back to produce this because if you remember from the last episode, that was the condition for Halloween 2 was don't sue us for making the fog without you.
Yeah.
And no more Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And their whole idea is like witchcraft in the 21st century, well, 20th at the time, but witchcraft in the future, you know, like what is witchcraft now?
Because like obviously I'm a freaking nerd, so I love all of this sort of stuff, and like fantasy, it's all made up and not real. But if you're gonna go for something, at least make sure it makes sense in the world that you created in. Because to me, none of this made sense, and it was all like all over the place. For me, it made sense in the way that like one of my favorite writers, Grant Morrison, he talks about Superman and like why he's like Man of Steel's like he's always like Man of Steel's like a fine movie, I guess, but as a Superman movie, it doesn't work because they're trying to make him realistic. Nothing about Superman is realistic, so the most realistic thing you can do with Superman is anything you fucking want. That's how I feel about this, where it's like, yeah, magic isn't real, it's fine. Yeah, like I agree on that sense. I mean more of like the world that you create, as long as it doesn't contradict itself in its own world that you're building.
I don't think this movie does.
I felt that way with like how like, oh, it's magic now, oh, it's robots. Like it felt like a bunch of gotcha moments rather than stuff that was actually actively making sense.
Oh yeah, this movie makes no sense. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, that's part of why I like it. Yeah. This movie just goes, you know what would fucking rule? This movie is like that comic book Axe Cop, where it's like the guy's little brother just being like, and then the cop has an axe, and then there's a werewolf, and then there's like it's definitely written by like a 10-year-old being like, and then the witches, they have robots because witches and robots are friends, and then he drinks because adults, they drink alcohol, and then he has a lot of girlfriends because that's what cool people have, and then
he has a big mustache too because mustaches are cool.
Well, Tom Atkins is cool as fuck and his mustache rules. Let's not get into that territory.
Well, no, like mustaches are cool. That's everything you listed is cool. So
right, but it is like overkill. Like 100%. Like I fully know this movie isn't good.
Yeah,
but I love it. It's as I told you before we started recording, it's probably my second or third favorite Halloween movie.
The two things that would have made this movie not have personal beef with me, not be debated, like if I went in with no expectations without seeing the poster and like just not knowing like any iconography or anything, because like I said, I was expecting Trick or Treat. And if there wasn't a creepy like 20+ year age gap relationship,
that's one of those things that I don't like it. Like I'm not going to like try to defend it. I can't. But that's one of those things where it's like any movie that's made before like 2002, you kind of just have to accept that. Like,
I'm aware of it, but it always ruins it. Like at least have it make some sort of like resemblance of a relationship, because she's literally just goes from like, yeah, my dad just died, well, you have a mustache, so I love you, like
right. Oh, my favorite bit about all of that is in the hotel when he comes back and she's got on like a negligee. I'm like, she packed that to go solve her father's murder
with a man who was born before World War II.
I mean, that was, more common than Zach.
It was the 80s.
Yeah, that's
he was in his 50s.
I think Tom Atkins is actually about 40 in this. He just looks older. He's kind of got old man face, but
no, 50s. Because I looked it up because
what he did 50s. Okay,
he was born in the 30s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I looked it up because it made me so mad.
I thought he was about my parents' age, but. He's about 10 years older than them, I guess. So
yeah, because the age gap is over 20 years between the two of them.
I mean, that is so common. Like, a thing I invoke a lot. I'm a big James Bond fan. There comes a point where like Sean Connery is like 62 and his love interest is like 28. Which, to Daniel Craig's credit, every time they try to do that, where they're like, Anna de Armas from Knives Out is going to be your love interest, he's like, she can be in the movie. We cannot be in love. No, even James Bond is that creepy. Like,
good job, Daniel Craig. Because age gaps are fine if you're in a relationship, but when it's like, yes, this like middle-aged man totally is pulling all these chicks,
and when it comes out of like nowhere, like in this movie.
Like, but unnecessarily.
That's supposed to be cool. He's supposed to be a player, which would make more sense.
He's a drunk doctor.
Yeah, it would make way more sense if this was like a 25-year-old who's like, I'm the new doctor in town. I'm a wunderkind. Like, all the ladies love me. Like, I'm younger than the nurses, so they like me. Like
even in the last movie, Jimmy could not pull Lori.
Right.
Like even he's a loser.
Imagine, I mean, he's a creep in that movie too. But imagine if Bud, like that actor, is playing this character, works way better.
Yeah,
like
that
makes more
better.
Sense.
Yeah.
Even though I like Tom Atkins in this movie for other reasons, like when he's running around doing detective shit, I think he's great at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
This is the first time. This is the first thing I've ever seen Tom Atkins in, so I have no preconceived like he's cool or anything like that. The main thing in my head was like, he's a doctor. He's not a like officer.
Oh, he's a horrible alcoholic. My favorite thing is like when she's like, I was looking for you and the nurses told me you'd be here, and it's like Tuesday at 10 a.m. in a bar. Like, yeah.
He's just grabbing ass and like, oh, I should have married you, random nurse. Like,
that's supposed to be his money penny. Which means nothing. Yeah, I watch James Bond movies, but it's supposed to be playfully flirty and charming. It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's supposed to be.
And then the lady who's doing the test on the ashes, he was flirting with her too. It's like, dude, chill.
Oh, that's who I thought we were talking about. No, you're talking about the random nurse. Yeah.
Yeah, he straight up grabbed ass.
Oh, yeah, not okay. No, he's getting fired today. Like, local controversy as Dr. Tom Atkins has been caught up in the Me Too movement. But it's great if you watch interviews with him, because he's always like, because he was also in The Fog, where he has sex with Jamie Lee Curtis. And that's like 4 years before this. So Jamie Lee Curtis is like 20.
Yikes.
That's John Carpenter written and directed. But like, he's always like, oh yeah, I'd show up to set and John would just be like, guess what I got for you today, Tom? And I'd be like, oh, John, you rascal. Like, he fully like knows like, oh, this is wildly inappropriate and wouldn't happen in real life.
Yeah, I'm sure Tom Atkins is great.
I think that's like almost part of the joke, is like, that guy?
Then you look at John Carpenter and see his mustache, and you're like, well, wait a second.
His mustache could beat up Tom Atkins' mustache in a heartbeat.
But he's just writing cool guys with mustaches. Like.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess that is healthier than the way Stephen King self-insert writes his characters.
You mean... And then
I killed my family. Not, I have a mustache and I get chicks.
Cocaine makes a huge difference, man.
Yeah.
Cocaine wrote all those Stephen King books, so
but yeah, like I said, me and Matt had this discussion about Bill Murray, because like everything I've seen Bill Murray in is the exact, like, I don't like Ghostbusters for this reason. He was just creepy to me that whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with part of the Bill Murray persona, is like, it just doesn't age well.
Yeah.
And like, you can see him kind of like abandon that now, like where he's more of an actor and a little bit less of like, I'm an SNL improviser, you know? But I think my favorite part of this movie though is Dan O'Herlihy as Colonel Cochran. I think he's such a great bad guy in this movie.
Dan O'Herlihy.
I wish he was in this movie like 10% more. I think that would also go a long way to like give him like 2 more cool monologues. So I'm like not just going, what's happening?
At the point he showed up, I was already in spite mode. So I don't think I fully like got and appreciated him.
The Festival of Samhain, you see. That's where he has his amazing line where he's like, it's a piece of Stonehenge. You'd never guess how we got it here. Moving on. And actually, to their credit, earlier in the movie, they keep cutting to TVs, like what he's watching. The news is talking about, like, no one quite knows how they stole a piece of Stonehenge, but it seems some practical jokesters have really pulled something off.
I like that it kept cutting to Halloween.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah, that's nice.
And the intro for those who keeps going like, the immortal Halloween. That's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I did see that. And she was also the phone operator.
Yeah. Makes me happy.
Yeah. See, this is what, because this is breaking the fourth wall. This is a weeknight. So I watched this movie while Matt was driving here. And I'm a bad boy and looked up like, wait, how old is he and how old is she? And then I accidentally saw things that I shouldn't have seen and been revealed on a podcast like that.
How dare you?
I know.
Well, that's fine.
This is why we have to watch them together, so I don't do that.
It might make it more interesting. It's working this time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other... any movie... I've told you this before. Any movie that kills a kid, automatic 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, they did kill kids. I was like, when did they kill a kid? Oh wait, that was the whole point.
Maybe the best scene of the movie.
Which one?
The one where they killed the kid.
Oh, was that? I thought there was one earlier than that.
No, it's just the one where they like put them in the test room and they're like waiting for him to come talk to them.
Whose head did they rip off? What killer was that?
That's the homeless guy.
Homeless guy. That's
who's like very like anti-Cochran.
Mm-hmm.
But he seems to know what's going on. That's why when they come, he's like, no.
Yeah.
And then it's weirdly sexual with him down by Dick's Warlock.
Dick Warlock's in this.
Yeah.
He's one of the Terminators.
Yeah. He again did all the stunts, so that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Dick Warlock.
Penis wizard.
That quest bubble is still here. Need to get signature from Dick Warlock.
Need to make fantasy movies starring Dick Warlock and Nick Castle. Don't forget.
There's like a space right here just waiting for Dick Warlock's signature.
Dick, reach out to us. We love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We won't even make fun of your name if you come on the show.
We haven't even been making fun of your name. We just think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Dick Warlock is cool.
It's a cool name.
Hell yeah. But yeah, he was in it. That was another thing that I accidentally spoiled for myself because I didn't know what he looked like. Because
handsome. That's what he looks like.
His hair is cool.
Yeah,
he's got a cool hairdo.
Looks fantastic in this movie in that trench coat.
That badass. Like one stripe, like color in his hair.
Hell yeah.
He killed it.
Yeah, literally. But I love that. I don't know. There's just something that about the way the kid dies where it turns into the bugs, where you said like it doesn't make sense, but like also I'm like, but what would witches do to kids? They'd turn them into bugs or something, you know? Like
if there was a witch in this movie, I would agree. There's no witches.
He's meant to be like a practicer of like ancient Irish magics, because that's where like Halloween comes from. That's his whole monologue where he's talking about the festival of Samhain.
That's what that was about.
Yeah, Samhain is the precursor to Halloween.
Well, that was Halloween too.
No, in this he's yes, Samhain. In Halloween 2 they call it Samhain. They mispronounce it.
Wow, I really did check out at that point. So
no, the back half of this movie fucking rips. You're gonna have to rewatch it, man. Because then like she's almost not his love interest anymore because she's a robot. Spoilers.
We are well into the Cape Fear.
Yeah.
Dang.
So like it's just Tom Atkins running around doing cool shit and Colonel Cochran being like magic.
Yeah. Then that's another callback to the previous Halloween.
Yeah. Actually some of the sequels even kind of try to marry some of the ideas from this movie to the Halloween main franchise. Unsuccessfully, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I like stuff like that.
And there's like ideas that kind of work for me, like the idea of masks and hiding and evil, and like what are you covering up with those masks? And even like the killers in this kind of, because they're played by Michael Myers, like move like Michael Myers. And so I'm like, yeah, sure, maybe there's Irish magic in Halloween 1 and 2. We don't know.
Yeah. See, I mean, like my two favorite things are Star Wars and Marvel. So if you can give me like little Easter eggs and like things connecting, I'm all about it. Like I love that shit. Like those are making this movie better for me.
Yeah.
Still not good, but better. I'm like, oh, that's
this is a movie that like you're gonna watch it again in 2 years and you'll like it like 10% more, and then you'll watch it again in 2 years and eventually you'll be like, I really like this movie. Like,
yeah,
this is fun.
I'm surprised that everything I took out of this movie, Michael Myers not being in it, wasn't one of the things that knocked it for me.
Yeah, that's how I felt the first time I watched it. I was like, for all of my complaints, which will never go away, like you will always see the seams in this movie, that isn't one of them.
Yeah.
But I can also understand, like, if we went to Halloween Kills next week and Michael Myers just wasn't in it, and all of a sudden there was a guy going, Samhain, we'd be like, what the fuck is this movie? God damn it. I spent $20 on this movie ticket. Like, I get why people are pissed.
Yeah.
At the time. Like, it's easy to say now because, like, we went in, like, everybody know, oh, that's the one without Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't have any future confirmation of Michael Myers coming back, right, you'd be like, where's that dude with the knife? He was there in the first two. He was great. Where is he? But
like imagine if you went into if you went into Rise of Skywalker with all of its flaws, at least it's still about the same characters you followed for 2 movies. Imagine if you showed up and it was just a movie about like Sebulba's widow or something 30 years later, fighting like an evil, like,
I don't know, that sounds pretty great.
Like fighting Babu Frick. You'd be like,
I don't know. That
I mean, I like
great.
all of these people, but what?
That does sound preferable, though.
Well, yeah.
That sounds like
that's
a
a low
movie.
bar. But yeah, like 20 years later, people would be like, I mean, secretly best of the franchise? Great party movie.
Jar Jar Binks was a Sith Lord the whole time. Who would have knew?
I mean, I thought it was weird when he murdered that kid with a mask, but J.J. Abrams is just a bold filmmaker.
Really misunderstood with times. Really thought ahead. Hire us to make a Star Wars movie.
Please. No one's going to hire us now.
I don't know. Sounds like a pretty good what was it, Star Wars Visions episode.
Yeah. Maybe we can get hired for that. Call us.
Yes, we love anime and can totally make it.
Yeah, I definitely
It's
watch
our favorite
anime.
thing.
I got nothing against anime.
I watch it every day. It's my favorite. No, Star Wars Visions was pretty good. I liked it.
I hear good things.
Yeah.
But
There's an episode about a rock band that played for Jabba.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty great. But we're here to talk about welcome to the Star Wars podcast.
Secretly, that's what we're building towards.
You can't see these hilts, but these are lightsabers. It's Anakin's and Darth Vader's, who are the same person. Star Wars. Mustaches.
Why aren't there any mustaches in Star Wars?
Lando's got a cool one.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, that's why you can't top that one.
Yeah. Everyone else just has beards. Yeah. Like all Jedi just have cool like beards.
That's true. Yeah.
Can't top Obi-Wan's beard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's beautiful and perfect. But...
What's Halloween like in space?
I assume it's like Life Day. It's pretty much the same, but they call it something else. And then Carrie Fisher sings a song on coke.
True.
It's the only good part of that Star Wars Christmas special is her coke now.
The Lego Star Wars Halloween special just came out and it was great.
Nice. I still haven't watched it yet.
It's good.
All right.
But Halloween.
Yes. Should we get into some behind the scenes?
Let's do it.
So, as I said before, coming into this one, they're not even sure they want to make a Halloween 3, but Halloween 2 does so well that the producers automatically are like, you're making a 3, John.
Mm-hmm.
You let us write it into your contract. You're coming on board. And his first choice this time is not Tommy Lee Wallace, who wound up directing this movie, who he wanted for Halloween 2. Mm-hmm. His first choice is actually Joe Dante, who you'll remember from the Twilight Zone episode, who directed your favorite segment, and the director of Gremlins.
What was my favorite segment?
Cartoon Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Dante.
They want him to do it, which, like, I actually think his aesthetic would fit really well with kind of like the intentionally campy B-movie vibe of this in a way that I don't think, like, Tommy Lee Wallace pushes it quite hard enough into camp. Like, he touches on it, especially in The Bad Guy. But imagine if this movie was a little bit more over the top.
Yeah.
You know? I think he would have been a really cool choice. And the other thing they do is...
Wait, so Joe Dante did or didn't direct this?
He didn't direct this. Yeah. It winds up being Tommy Lee Wallace, who's the editor and the prop designer who designed Michael Myers' mask.
Because now that you said it, I was like,
yeah,
they went to like cartoony over the top. Like this movie would have worked.
Still, like everybody still plays it straight.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the only person who's playing at camp is Cochran.
Yeah.
Which is why he's my favorite performance in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he understands like, oh, this is a bad B movie. Sick.
Dang.
Like
that would have made this movie one of my favorites.
Yeah.
If they just pushed it a little bit more, because that's what I was saying. Like it's almost John Carpenter.
Yeah, and like I think Carpenter would get the camp too, which you can see like in They Live, where he pushes it to like almost a comedy.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like with the technology, the robots, the anti-corporate, like all that stuff was so John Carpenter. If it was just, but it was just not John Carpenter enough.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And part of that is because then in their discussions, they decide to bring on a writer they both like. This British writer, Nigel Neal, who isn't as popular in America, but in England, he's pretty well known for his series of films about called like the Quatermass Experiment and stuff. They're kind of in some ways a precursor to Doctor Who in that it's the main character isn't supernatural, but he is like a scientist who is like ultra competent and always prepared, and everything is vaguely sci-fi horror. And also he's the reason that like Hammer horror films exist, because the first one they do is one of his movies, and they're who brings in like Christopher Lee to play Dracula.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Count Dooku. Star Wars.
I can't wait for us to do some Hammer movies, dude. Those movies rule.
I don't think I've seen him in a horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, he played Dracula and he played Frankenstein's monster.
He did?
And it's him and Peter Cushing from Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they've done a lot of horror movies together.
Yeah.
We just haven't done any.
I know. We'll get to them. We should do
them. They're the OG Matt and Zach.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
One is big and one is little. That's how it works.
You need the contrast to make it work.
Ironically, due to these chairs, you can't tell I'm the big one.
That's why it's all red over there. To like make up for the menacing
I'm normally so intimidating as a person.
He's very intimidating. If you come by a table, it's just me being like, hey, you want a free sketch? And Matt just like,
take that sketch. And everybody says yes.
No.
Oh, hi.
It's me.
Do you like spooky things?
It's actually Matt going, hey, would you like a free sketch? And me going like, hi.
Yeah, accurate. But so they bring on Nigel Neal to write the first draft of the movie. And actually, he's like, for Joe Dante and John Carpenter, like people of a certain age, like the same way that like Doctor Who for people our age is like this cult thing that is like so big and like people like love it. That's how he is for them. So they're like, oh my God, we're gonna meet Nigel Neal. Oh, did you hear he's like he's at the time he's developing like the new version of like the Creature from the Black Lagoon, so we can get him because Universal has him on contract. This would be great. And he shows up and literally says, like, I don't like the Halloween movies. I think they're bad and I think they're mediocre and I think you're mediocre. And that is his attitude the whole time he works with John Carpenter. Is like, I'm Nigel fucking Neal. Who the fuck are you? And John Carpenter's like, he's a brilliant writer and I'm really glad he wrote the first draft, but don't meet your heroes.
So it flip-flopped on the first one and the crew wanted to be there. And this third one, the director didn't want to be there.
Well, no, it kind of works out because John Carpenter says like, yeah, no, you are a better writer than me. You're like my favorite writer. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to write a slasher movie. We can write whatever we want. We just want to do technology and magic mixing together in like a horror movie. Mm-hmm. That's like literally the only like thing that they give him. And he goes off and writes it and he's happy with it. But as with every first draft, by this point, Joe Dante leaves because he's like, yeah, that dude's an asshole. I'm going to go make Twilight Zone.
Joe Dante knows what's up. The correct choice.
But so then, you know, Carpenter says, like, Tommy Lee Wallace will direct it. I wanted him for 2. We'll do him for 3. This will be great. Nigel Neal comes back, gives him the draft of the script, and they're like, okay, cool. We got a couple notes. And he goes, you're going to give me notes? No, I'm not going to rewrite my script. I'm Nigel Neal. No. To his credit, he had actual legitimate reasons. His script wasn't super violent. And like it was much more focused on like the witchcraft and stuff. And like a slow burn. And John Carpenter and Tommy Lee Wallace were like, yeah, it's still like a movie for teenagers, so can some robots kill somebody at one point? Like, so like I get why he's like, no, I'm not gonna put that in my fucking script, you idiots. Like, so then John Carpenter rewrites it, and that pisses off Nigel Neal. So he says, you know what? I really liked working with you guys. You guys are great. You're gonna make a good. He even says like in public, like, I think Tommy Wallace is a great director. I think he's a great choice for this project. He totally has my blessing. Take my name off this fucking movie. And then John Carpenter, his rewrite is uncredited. So then when Tommy Lee Wallace rewrites it a third time, like the third draft of it for the shooting script, he gets sole credit, to which he always has to be like, I didn't actually write the movie. Like, I like cleaned up the third draft. Like, I added a robot decapitation. I don't know. Like, But to Nigel Neal's credit, he doesn't get any royalties for this movie either. He put his money where his mouth was. It's that Alan Moore Watchmen thing.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, I don't want any money from your shitty Watchmen movie.
Damn. That's kind of baller, though, to be like, all right, here's my script. Oh, you're touching that? Good luck, homies. Like,
right.
Peace out.
The fact that he actually did it and didn't go like, wait, you mean I won't get paid?
Yeah.
Well, then, you can rewrite it. Like, he stuck to his guns. Was like, I don't want that to be, that's not my movie.
Yeah.
I kind of respect it, even though he's a dick.
Yeah.
Like John Carpenter said, like, don't meet your heroes. Like,
I mean, like, I can't think of an example, but I feel like I've done something like that before where I helped out creatively on something and then Sion was like, don't put my name on that. Like, that's, you altered that thing. Like, that's all you, homie. Peace out. Like, don't even know. So I can relate. And you can guess.
I can think of an anthology we edited together that our names aren't on.
Oh, I was thinking of something else. I guess it's happened way more than once.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that one. So it's happened many times.
Yeah. But Halloween 3. Yeah. But other than that, everything actually goes off without a hitch. Tommy Lee Wallace, like, the studio's fully on board. And the movie comes out and it's actually a big hit. Budget of $5 million, makes 14. So while it is the lowest grossing Halloween movie, I mean, that's still 3 times its budget.
Yeah.
So of course they're like, Halloween 4, hell yeah. Put Michael in it though. But this movie did lead to one of my favorite reviews. This is from Vincent Canby at the New York Times. He said, Halloween 3 manages the not easy feat of being anti-children, anti-capitalism, anti-television, and anti-Irish all at the same time.
I mean, I'm on board for the anti-capitalism, anti-child. Like, pretty badass themes for a movie.
Yeah. And also, this was his positive review of the movie. He was like, by the way, really good movie. Fun. A lot of fun. And everybody else was like, this movie sucks. Where's Michael? He was the only one that was like, I don't know, robots.
Anti-child, anti-capitalist. I'm on board.
Yeah. It's the 80s. People still probably hated the Irish, right?
That too. We're not fans of that.
Not at all.
We're not fans of anti-Irish.
Oh.
We're not fans of
I
that.
thought you meant we weren't fans of the Irish and that was the joke. But.
No, we are fans of it. We are.
Well, yeah,
we're fans of ourselves.
That's the joke, Zach. You see, let me take it back. It's sort of like saying that, but about being Irish. This will just take a minute. Give us something. Well, fuck you too, then. Bad conversation. No.
We're talking about Skittles.
Yeah, you disagreed that berries and cream wasn't the best flavor.
Well, you're just a little lad that likes berries and cream.
I am, Zach. God.
Adding video is a great idea.
Yeah.
And these.
Yeah.
We had much nicer mics that we used to use, but they're just on an arm. But I got these so it could feel like
do bits with those.
Yeah.
All right, but Zach, any closing thoughts on Halloween 3?
Oh, we're here already.
Yeah.
Halloween 3, this time it's personal. I still don't like this movie.
Does have a great tagline, though.
For personal reasons, not about the actual criticism. I got beef with this movie.
Fair.
But it's still not Blair Witch, so.
Yeah.
What's with these witch movies?
We gotta find you a good witch movie.
Blair Witch, Conjuring, Season of the Witch, The Witch. All of these movies.
Okay, The Witch was a good movie, though. You just don't understand.
I don't understand Shakespeare.
That's a failing of the public school system, not the film.
It's never come up until this movie. I don't really think I need that.
Did you not have to read Shakespeare in high school? Where the fuck did you go to high school?
I went to several. Maybe that's the problem.
You kept missing Shakespeare week.
Probably. Every single time I went to a new
we had to
one.
read like one Shakespeare play a year when I was in high school. But
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
Like I said, I read like that one about the hitchhiking guy. They made a movie. Into the Wild.
Oh yeah. I like that movie.
Yeah.
He misunderstands the book because the book is like fucking idiot. And the movie is
died.
He was a lost soul who just needed to dream. And the book is like, nah, he ate some berries. He's a dumbass. He should have taken a phone. Like,
I think it was before phones.
Yeah, I know.
No, I did not have to learn Shakespeare, and it has not been an issue until I had to watch The Witch.
Yeah, Shakespeare's good, man. I'm telling you. You'll like The Witch once you like read a little Shakespeare.
Yeah. So what are your closing thoughts on this movie?
I like this movie. I think it's a good time. I think like the more we do the podcast, the more people are probably starting to understand like, Matt just wants to have fun when he watches a horror movie. And like, yeah.
Me too.
This movie's fun, man.
That's why
a child's head explodes into bugs. Then a snake kills his mom after crawling out of his head. This movie fucking rips.
I can't argue with that.
That's my closing thought. I don't want to break the microphone.
That's why you gotta.
I'm not that coordinated, let's be honest.
Sure. You know what I realized too? How we have the contrast going. We're also millennial and Gen Z.
Yeah.
So that brings an interesting mix to the opinions and how that affects them.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. See, you get along.
Mm-hmm.
Peace for all humanity is horror movies. We're actually solving world peace here.
It's true.
That's what we're doing.
I'm still not going to part my hair in the middle, though.
Is that?
That's a thing on TikTok that all the Gen Z people complain about. Millennials, they don't part their hair in the middle.
But that was like the 90s thing. That's what millennials did.
That's why I'm like, that's why I'm not going to. Baggy jeans and parting your hair in the middle. That was our thing.
Yeah.
But you're an elder Gen Z person. This is like Gen Z people who are like, I'm 17. I got 9 billion followers on TikTok. Fuck you.
Come on, Gen Z. Let your elders shepherd you into the before times. I had an older sister, so I know.
Yeah. Oh.
I have the lore, I have the knowledge of the millennials. You can understand them too.
Just ask your wife.
Yeah, my wife's a millennial too.
Like just barely.
No, she's.
What? Because you're 97.
I'm 96. She's 92.
Okay. Oh yeah, she's okay. She's firmly a millennial.
You guys are old.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach, I'm over 30. I'm old and I'm tired.
That's fine as long as you're not out here patrolling for 20-year-olds like not Tom Selleck is.
It still wouldn't be as creepy as when he does it though.
Not 20. I meant 20-year age gap.
No, I know. Yeah, a 12-year-old.
Definitely don't do that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Definitely don't do that. But anyways, closing thoughts on this movie.
This movie rips. It's a good time. It is a movie that grows on you because it is so weird. Mm-hmm. That's part of why I always say I like big swings. This movie is a big swing on a lot of levels, and I appreciate that about it.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's fun.
For actual closing thoughts, other than Halloween 3, this time it's personal. Now that you said Joe Dante, he was in the talks at one point, I feel like that.
I mean, that
would have made this movie so good for me.
Again, not to like shit on the director or anything. They made a movie and I didn't.
Yeah.
Joe Dante's a much better director than Tommy Lee Wallace.
Yeah.
So like that also helps.
Not even coming at it from that point, more just like tonally it would have worked more. So that, and I'm not upset that this movie exists or that it's in the hollow. Like, there are some Star Wars movies where I'm like, man, I could do without that movie in this franchise, but this I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with it being in the Halloween franchise. Like it was fine.
Yeah, they tried something different. I think that's cool. Also, I totally forgot to mention, but there's an artist. I don't know if you've heard of him, Rob Schraub. He works a lot with Rob Schraub. His big comic book was Scud the Disposable Assassin.
Scud the Disposable Assassin by Rob Schraub.
Yes. He's a big collaborator of like Dan Harmon. Like he's written episodes of Community, like the animated episodes of Community. He designed what those looked like, and like helped with the animation and stuff. But he does horror T-shirts for movies that don't exist, but he wishes that they did. So he has a shirt for Halloween 3-2, Cochrane's Revenge. And it just makes me so happy that there's some. It would have to be called Halloween 3-2. The same way that, like, the only other thing I can think of is the Final Fantasy games, where it's like Final Fantasy 7-3.
Yeah, that's like 12.5, 12.5 remix redux.
Right, yeah. Where you're like, I'm glad something that confusing is a title.
Yeah.
But shout out to Rob Schraub. I love that shirt.
Rob Schraub. You got a name up there with Dick Warlock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We love good names here.
All right. So, Zach, where can everybody find you?
Zach Shirk on Instagram, Zach_Shirk on Twitter. What about you, Matt?
You can find me on just about everything from Instagram to OnlyFans as I draw paintings.
That you can.
Yep.
You tried to blow through it, and I'm never going to allow you to just blow through it.
Yeah, I know. I want those subscribers.
Check it out. George Lucas has subscribed.
That's a joke for two people.
And on that note, 8 more days till Halloween. 8 more days till Halloween. Silver Shamrock. Shake. I forget.
Silver Shamrock.
Bye.
I like that you confuse it with a Shamrock Shake.
No, I don't want a Shamrock Shake.
They're good.
As the Vox fades, we thank you for listening to this bizarre journey into cinema. If your morbid curiosities hunger for more, you may summon our horror bros at mattmakezack.com, on Twitter and Instagram at macmakezack. Or if you dare, say George Lucas 3 times into a mirror for a visit from our phantom menaces. You may now return to your mortal plane of existence. Until next week, as Matt makes Zach sit through another chilling apparition. Mwah!